Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Allison's Corner. Of course, I am your host, Allison. And before we get started, I want to ask y'all a really quick question. When was the last time you leaned on your friends without apologizing for it? Because one thing that I've noticed is we live in a world where asking for help feels taboo, even if it's with the people that are closest to us. And I want you to take a second to think about that. We live in a world that constantly praises self sufficiency, hyper independence is glamorized. We love a goal getter, a strong friend, the one who gets it done on her own. But you know what's often missing from that narrative? Help, community, support, even softness. And I've learned sometimes the hard way that we were not designed to do life alone. So, I want to tell y'all a really quick story. I remember when I lost my job during the pandemic in 2020, and I was honestly feeling just lost and super overwhelmed because of everything that was going on at that time. And my friends, despite having their own issues and dealing with all that 2020 had to give us, they stepped in and offered so much encouragement. I'm talking daily job postings, referrals, recommendations, and even just little check ins that reminded me that I wasn't alone. And here's the crazy thing about all of that. I didn't even ask for any of that. They just showed up. I have an episode from season 1 called What About Your Friends? And in that episode, I talked a lot about friendship breakups and even some friendship green flags. But as I've gotten older and I've had to learn more about myself and my relationships, I really wanted to revisit the topic of friendship, but from a different angle. So this episode, it isn't just about friendship. It's about how friendship can save us and literally be the village that we need. Because the truth is our friendships can save us. They can be the community that holds us up, especially when everything feels like it's falling apart. So go ahead and grab your favorite drink. Mine is water today because hydration is self care. And let's go ahead and dive in. All right. So let's be real. Friendship nowadays can definitely feel performative. We see it all the time on social media. You have the cute brunch pics, the birthday dinner content, vacations with the crew, and all of those things are great and things I myself have also participated in, but what happens when the cameras are off? What happens when you're crying in your car or spiraling in your room? What happens when it's not cute or convenient anymore? And the issue is, a lot of us don't know how to let people in during those messy moments. And a lot of us don't know why. We have this pressure to always have it together. We don't want to seem like a burden. We don't want to seem weak. We don't want to be that quote unquote friend that doesn't know what she's doing. But y'all, real friendship isn't about perfection, it's about being present. I feel like lately in our society, hustle culture has been the thing that we have been seeing time and time again. And one thing about hustle culture is that it's taught us to value productivity over being present. even in our relationships, even in our friendships. And we ask, what can this person offer me? Instead of, how can I do life with this person? Because historically, community wasn't optional, it was all about survival. People raised children together, they shared meals, they watched out for one another. But now we've moved into this hyper independent mode that makes us believe we're supposed to do everything alone and only come together for fun. I have been seeing this quote online, and it's been circulating quite a bit on Instagram and TikTok, and it's just stuck with me. It's the quote says, "Everyone wants a village, but no one wants to be a villager." Let that sink in, okay? Because we crave the support of community, but we always don't want the responsibility that often comes with it. We want our friends to check in on us, but we don't always check in on them. We want a shoulder to cry on, but we avoid being available when someone else is grieving. And it's because of this loop of unmet needs and missed opportunities that continues to happen. We don't ask for help because we assume everyone else is busy. We start to downplay even our own needs, and we just push through it and we're like, I'm fine, even when we're falling apart. And y'all, that is dangerous because connection begins to happen when we're honest. And safety, especially safety in friendships, comes from that honesty that's being met with care, not with judgment. So, what would it look like to reimagine friendship as being something deeper? Something that can actually sustain us. What could it look like if we were real and really gave into the notion of community style friendship? What could that really look like? It could look like shared support systems, a friend who brings you soup when you're sick, friends who call you before your big interview just to hype you up, friends who send you that, hey, I know you said work might be hard this week, so I'm just checking in, just doing that. It can really be an emotional safety net, not just memes and reels in the group chat, but real questions. Do you feel seen right now? How's your heart? Just really going deep, because your friends know when your silence is loud. I know for me, my friends hate this. Ever so often, I send a very deep introspective question to a slew of my friends in my phone just because. And I do it not as a way to pry, even though half the time I'm getting a questioning eye emoji, those big eyes when they text me back. But I'm not doing it as a way to pry at all. It's really just seeing their opinion, where they are emotionally and how they feel about things. And I feel like I have learned so much in doing that about my friends that I would have never known in some of our everyday conversations. Community style friendship can also look like just practical help. You carpool together, babysitting, helping them when they're moving. I have friends who are moms, and they will tell you, I am the auntie that will plan a friend date if it includes the kiddos, and I don't mind. Now, granted, I get pushback 9 times out of 10, but if the baby's got to come on the friend date, cool. I'll make sure that it's fun for them too. Also, it's about accountability because we need friends to say to us, didn't you just say you were working on that? Or, you know, you were excited about that new opportunity. Why'd you stop pursuing it? And I feel like that is so important, y'all, because if it hadn't been for me sometimes getting that little kick, I probably would not be doing some of the stuff that I'm doing. And listen, I get it because accountability can be uncomfortable, but accountability is also love, and it's care and love in action. Friendships like that stop us from settling into loneliness and making loneliness our baseline. They continue to remind us that we're not isolated, even when life tries to convince us otherwise. And here's the thing, this kind of shift is necessary. It can't be something that we look at as optional because loneliness is literally killing people. Research shows that it's just as dangerous to our health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. I want you to really let that sink in because as humans, we are designed to be deeply social beings. I want to be fully transparent here. If you ask any of my friends if I am the girl who will go out, they will automatically tell you no. I am a homebody by nature and I do not care. Say what you want about it. I am also somebody who is naturally introverted and I actually really enjoy my own company. So sometimes I'll do things by myself. I'll go to concerts by myself. I'll go to music festivals by myself. I will go to the movies by myself. I will do any and everything by myself. And it really doesn't bother me. But within the last year, I started to realize that I have a community of people who love me. And because I have a community of people who love me, specifically my friends, I should learn to enjoy spending time with them, sometimes one on one or even more in a group setting. So this past year, I've been a little bit more conscious in going out of my way to spend quality time with my friends. It's summer, so of course, I've been getting impromptu hangouts to the pool or little barbecues that they've been having. And I have been saying yes to all of them. I've been, going out to eat with my friends more often and just really enjoying their company as well. And I have to say, letting my guard down and being more conscious of the way that I interact and not being so isolated has allowed my friendships to really grow and blossom in a deeper level. And while we know that romantic relationships and family matter, friendship is the first space where many of us learn intimacy and trust and love. Because not everybody comes from a great family, and not everybody is in a romantic relationship. There is something powerful about friends because friends are your chosen family. When one of my homegirls lands a new job and I was the one that was helping her review her resume and mock interviewing her, that's a win for both of us. When one of my friends gives birth and I'm the one who is driving her to her appointments or cooking her meals or even helping with the baby, that is sacred because community friendship is soul care. It's remembering that we're better when we do life together. So, I know the one question you have on your mind, and that is how do we build it? What does it take to move from a vibe only friendship to a village level one? Crazy enough, it's so simple. And here are a few ways you can start. Go ahead and text your friend today. Just say, "Hey, I'm proud of you. How can I support you this week?" And you might be surprised that that text could open a door that you didn't even know needed to be open. Another thing that you can do is create rituals. It could be weekly calls, monthly check ins, friendship dinners. You can do a Sunday reset session over Zoom. All of that can help you in staying in touch. Also, just make help normal. And what I mean by that is let your people know it's okay to call me when you're not okay, and also to be that person who makes that call. And of course, be intentional. Ask, what's something you need support with this month? Go deeper. Don't be afraid, and make sure it's not just surface level. And of course, last but not least, be the one to be vulnerable first. I know that's hard, but try it. Go ahead and say, "I'm just not doing great." Or you can even say, "I could use a friend today." Because the more we normalize that, the more we begin to invite other people to do the same. And listen, this does not require you having a massive friend group. It will take a couple of consistent, loving people who will show up for you with care and with truth. And if those people are there, trust me, that is just the beginning of your village. So here is your challenge for the week: be the village for one friend. Send the text, make the meal, ask the real question. Because friendship just isn't about company, it's also about community. And when we build friendships that function like villages, we remember what it means to be human again. Of course, I will end today's episode with a quote, and it says, "Because at the end of the day, the world doesn't need more independent people, it needs more connected ones." As always, God bless. Have an amazing day, and thank you for listening to Allison's Corner.